What's up, guys? This is a video that I'm pretty excited to make. This is a package I've been waiting on for a couple months. It came from Canada. This is a, I'm sure as you can see from the title of the video, this is the Yoho 4runner overlanding camping bed. I know some people will probably look at this and be like, it's just a couple of probably 2x4s with some mounts. You know, why would you want to buy that? And I'm a firm believer in supporting small business, for one, but two, this is not made with just your average, 2x4s from Home Depot. And it's also got some really nice hardware, and I appreciate the ingenuity that this person has put into this product. Now, this box is about 80% of the stuff that you need for this, and he tells you, because this comes from a company called Foxwood Merchants out of Canada, but he tells you that you will need to buy 2 pieces from IKEA. One is this middle support beam, and then the other one is the slats that the actual mattress sits on. I think when I bought them, I think with taxes and everything, it was like 50 bucks or so. I mean, it was cheap. So this bed plus those, and then we have to buy a mattress. I think I'll have maybe 300 bucks tops into this entire camp bed setup, which frankly that's cheaper than probably building a full-blown bed platform, etc. I'm a big fan of those. I think there's several creative designs on YouTube, but in my case I have a newer 4runner. It may be true for the older ones too, but I do know on the newer ones that there is the cargo tray on some models, and mine has the cargo tray. One advantage that the cargo tray gives you is that it makes the back level, so you don't have that dip that some other 4runner owners have had to kind of build around. This bed gets you above both of those anyways, so you don't have to deal with them, but that's part of the reason why I haven't built a storage drawer setup type thing. And then I've mentioned in my other videos, I like for my stuff to be really versatile or have multiple purposes, and so I can't really build this to a dedicated overland camping rig, because it also has to be a daily driver, and so those boxes can get in the way of throwing mulch in the back when we're doing stuff around the house, or if we want to load the dog up to take it to the vet. Those are the types of things that kind of motivate me not to do that. I would prefer stuff to be a little more modular, which is what this does. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up. As you can see, I haven't touched it. It's come straight from Canada. It's been quite the adventure to get this. I know Canada's had some pretty crazy weather here lately with flooding, and then now some snowstorms. So it took a little bit of time to get this, but I'm excited to see what is inside. I know what it should be inside, but I'm curious to see what is actually inside, what actually made it. And then I'm also looking forward to walking you guys through the installation. And then one thing I'm going to do is do a quick little upgrade to this, because the way this sits in the interior of the car, it can kind of mar up the plastics, and for some people that's not a big deal. I mean, we do throw gear in the back of our 4runner and it gets beat up, but anything that I could do to kind of prevent any damage, the better. And so I'll show you this quick little like $20 upgrade that I did. So yeah, let's get started. Let's rip this box open. Let's see what we got. Based off of the information on the website, you should be getting 4 boards. You should be getting some straps for the tension straps in the back, and you should also be getting some hardware, which comprise of the entire bed frame. One of these days I'll have my entire workbench cleaned off and organized so that you guys can have a better view. So again, I do appreciate for you guys bearing with me. So we've got a couple of instructions and invoicing. I'm going to put that facing down because it's got all my info on it. And it looks like everything's pretty well wrapped up. So that's pretty much what we've got. I think what I'm going to do is switch gears here and throw this on the floor at the back of the 4runner, and then go ahead and get this set up for install, and then I'll kind of walk you through further the contents of the box. So we'll get started on the install. Okay, so like I said, I was going to regroup, get this on the floor, and pick out all this bubble wrap, and then we'll see what's actually in here. So it looks like we got the 4 boards. We got the tension straps like I was talking about earlier, which actually go in the back. So they use these to kind of keep the bed from flexing up. And so it looks like we have all the mounted hardware and everything. So in addition to basically taking this out, unwrapping the plastics, I'll bring over the items that I purchased from IKEA, which is the only 2 pieces that you have to buy, in addition to the mattress, to make this work. So I'll go grab those real quick. So the first item you need from IKEA is this, and I'll try to get it on camera. You can see that. It's called a Scorva, and this is that main support beam that's going to go in between the boards. And then you also need the slats for a full / queen, and they call these a lorry. Which also aren't very expensive. They come as a pair. And so yeah, besides that, we should have everything we need to install this into the 4runner. So what I'm going to do now is just simply unwrap the boards. And so I won't bore you guys with that too much, but I'll get this unwrapped, and then when I have all the contents laid out, we'll throw it in the back of the 4runner, and I'll show you guys why I picked this. Okay, so now that we have this unboxed and I have all the pieces laid out, there's really only 3 items that aren't assembled. 2 are these blocks, which I'll bring closer to the camera. These guys, they have 2 screws on each. They bolt to the Scorva, the main support piece that you bought from IKEA. And then they also have this piece right here, which based off of the instructions that I've read, is for if you're only going to have like one side of it is for a bed. Because that's the other thing that I appreciated about this setup is if you're going solo, you can just put the slats on one side, leave the other side completely open for your gear. There's enough room to throw a kayak, like a small like playboat size kayak in there. But you could put a fridge and things like that. In my case, I'm going to have the double bed so that my wife and I can go camping. So I don't know that I'll use that, but I'll certainly hang on to it. And then it looks like we have a couple of items here where it clicks in. They did put their logo on the main piece, which faces out when they're all assembled. And then the other neat thing is, I'll show you on this piece, they labeled every board, if you can see that, so that you knew exactly what position that these go in. So there's really no guesswork when it comes to how to install this. It seems to be relatively straightforward. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to show you guys what I have to do to the interior of the 4runner. So let me do that real quick. Take this off, and so we're looking at the 4runner here. This is not very good lighting, but basically what I have going on right now is the seats are folded up. So I'll come around. What I need to do is pull the seat up, push this down, and fold the seats down. And then the only other thing I have to do is take out this privacy shield or shade, and then the cargo net in the back, and then I am ready to throw this thing in. And that's something I think is really neat about the install of this is it's relatively easy to do, and it's relatively easy to put in and take out, and that's ultimately what I was looking for in terms of a camping setup for this car. Because again, I can't stress it enough, this car, you know, is a daily, and so we've got to be able to have it, you know, function as that, you know, to get groceries and take people to work and things like that. So while it's nice to have a dedicated rig, we're just not quite there yet. So we're very blessed to at least be able to have the 4runner. So like I said, we'll take the cargo net down. I'm gonna just lay it down there because it's not in the way, and then I'll have to get 2 hands to take this guy out. So like I said, I'm gonna throw this back up on the tripod. We'll get a time-lapse mode going, and then I'll come back and show you guys how it went. Okay, so as you can see, in a matter of just a few minutes, I got all 4 boards put in. I was also able to put the Scorva in from IKEA. I did notice the one thing that I didn't realize earlier was the screws are not Phillips or flat. I think these are like hex head, I'm assuming. I had to dig through my my bits and find one that fit, but thankfully it is a common enough size that you probably have it in your toolbox. It's probably one of the ones that you just don't really use. But like I said, the only things that you really have to do assembly wise is take these screws out, and once you do this once, you're pretty much set. Put these through the Scorva, and then you have the tension straps here, like I mentioned before. That's what had all the stuff bundled up. So one cool thing is, when you're not using this, you could take those straps and kind of bind all this stuff together. And then the last thing is to put the slats in from IKEA. And once that's in, you throw your mattress on top and you're ready to go. So that's what I was kind of getting at earlier, is how impressive it is that you can basically have almost a queen size bed in the back of the 4runner, which is comfortable for my wife and I and our dog. It still gives us plenty of height here, so that if we want to have a basket at the top, we could, and I fully intend to do that to give us some more cargo space. In my other video, you did see that I have a rig supplied tire carrier, which is actually here on the floor, which is going to go on the back. So that's where our camping table will be, our spare tire will be, our trasheroo with like some of the stuff that can weather the elements will be. We do have a Gobi ladder that's supposedly going to get here at some point, and when that does, we'll have a mount, and I'll put the roto packs on there for the fuel. And then in addition to that, we may end up throwing a Yakima or a Thule or a Rhino box up on the top to carry some of our supplies for longer trips. But one good thing is, even though it's not a lot of space, which hopefully you can see, you are still able to use, in our case, the cargo slider, which is nice. So we could ideally get some, I think they're the under bed boxes, which aren't very tall. They'll probably fit in here just nicely, and then we can slide them in, and then that'll allow us to put items inside the 4runner as well. And then of course, when we're not sleeping on the bed, we could always take this apart if we want to, because it's relatively easy, and then put more stuff in here. We also do have the ability to put stuff on top of the bed, again, while we're not sleeping. So I'm gonna put these guys in real quick, and then after I do that, I'll come back to you guys, and I'll throw in the Luri, the bed slats, and then I'll give you guys a quick little tour of the bed frame itself. Okay, so the only thing I've done since the camera was last on, besides get this in the way, is attach the little slat ledges that he provides in the kit to the Scorva. And so all I did was I undid the 2 screws in the back of the board. Hopefully you could see that. Then I put them through the Scorva and then attached them. There's 2. And then now all I've got to do is there's 2 plates that you hook into. And I can assure you it's much easier to do than what it looked like. You have two people. And then the only other thing I did was cut the pieces holding the slats on. And then all you got to do now is take the slats and put them in. And so I'll fumble with those real quick, and then once I have both sides in, I'll come back and I'll give you guys the final tour of it. Right now we don't have a mattress. We're still trying to figure out which mattress we want to go with. But certainly once we have that figured out, I'll come back and revisit the video. Because like I said, I do have a little bit of an upgrade that I'm going to do, and I'll mention that when I'm going around and showing you the tour of it. Okay guys, so as promised, I was going to give you guys a quick little tour. So I will note that the Scorva you buy from IKEA, it's a little long, because again I think it's meant for like a full. And so while this is full length, the bed frame is going to have 3 additional slats left over. I've seen, it looks like you can tuck them up that way. I think I'm probably just going to cut mine off because I don't see a purpose of them. And that way you guys can see kind of what the back looks like. Fold these up, and then you see the logo, and then it has the straps on either side. Like I said, this is that piece that you'll use if you're only going to use the single setup. And then come around here, like I said, that's the product you're going to need to buy for the bed slats from IKEA. They come as a set. I know when I first looked at them, I thought they were a bit expensive, but when you realize they're the set, they're not too bad. So again, the idea is it has a hoop here, and it hooks into the part where the seat clicks into the floorboard. And then what you can ultimately do is push the seats up if you're a bit taller, and you can put your pillow here so you have full length in the 4runner for you to sleep comfortably. That's where they kind of get the idea of. I think that's why they say you can also put the slats over this to kind of help, you know, give you some kind of rigid support. But I think the mattress will probably overhang and take care of that anyways. But yeah, that's the Yoho bed frame 4runner bed. I haven't seen too many videos on YouTube about these besides the one from the manufacturer, so I thought I'd make one real quick going over some of the features. One of the things I'm going to do is kind of an upgrade, as you probably can't see, but I have felt down there, felt fabric that's on the wheel arches, and I'm going to take some 3M 77 adhesive spray, and I'm going to put that around the wood to keep it from marring it up. And then I'm also going to put some on the side here so that when the doors are shut, it's not going to get up against the nice finish of the door, just to keep it from getting scratched up. Some people might not care about that. I like to keep my stuff nice, even though if it's being used. So yeah, I'll make another video when I do that. Just kind of quick little 5-minute video, 5-10 minute video, going over how I put the adhesive on and the impact it has on keeping the interior nice. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.